Can you believe we're almost in the middle of August? Summer's like over, which is so crazy to say. And what did I do? I mean, I guess I hung out in London with my husband and walked around the city streets and explored parts that I hadn't been to before. I went to Maine and visited my family, which was awesome. I got to go whale watching while I was there, which was really cool. And then I ate a metric crap ton of Papa's bagels. Their summer special was so good, you guys. Go get it now before it's gone. Oh my gosh. But I really spent the majority of the summer painting. And this video is going to be a compilation of all the things I painted this summer. This first painting, I absolutely hated, so you're only gonna see a small portion of it. I don't even think I got a clip of the full painting done. But you know, sometimes you gotta make bad stuff before you make good stuff. That's like the thesis of my entire channel, is like make bad stuff so that you can maybe be proud of something one day. This one I just utterly disliked. It gave me like the feeling of like those, what are they called? Like those Dixie cups that were popular in the 90s. Anyways, then I decided to do something else that I really didn't like, but it was like, you know, challenging to me, which is doing some kind of self-portrait. So I did a small self-portrait. I had this idea of myself like sunken into these reeds or like this summer landscape because it was so hot outside. Oh my gosh, London was having the craziest heat wave while I was painting this. Like I had sweat dripping down my body the entire time I was making this. And I think that kind of got conveyed by this painting. I hope it did anyways. And you know, one thing that really bothers me is I wish I had just kept the ding face blue. I really had to go and ruin it by trying to make the face really look like me. Oh, it took such a turn for the worse. Look at me pretending to like this. No, hated it. Really, really disliked it. Again, kind of need to make stuff you don't like before you make stuff that you do like. I think it does look like me though, so at least that. And then I painted something that I really liked because I already knew I liked this painting. You know what I mean? So this was a painting that I recreated that I had done previously. And when I painted it, I had said that it looked a little bit like the Ukraine flag. And one of my followers on Instagram had DM'd me and told me that she was Ukrainian and had immigrated to the UK, but was missing her home country, and said she would really appreciate if she could buy the painting. So I got her address and I sent it to her. I'm not gonna take your money. And then I got a bunch of expired oil pastels because I thought this would be kind of fun to do. I didn't know they were expired, but they were on sale. And I just decided to get really loose with it because I felt like I was kind of a little bit too tightened up after the last couple paintings that I had done. And I actually really like this bit of art that I've done. Can I call this a painting? It's done with oil pastels. Drawing? Dunno. Artwork. Let's go with artwork. I kept this super loose and just used the colors that were on sale at Jackson's, the art shop that I go to. So I feel like it gave me parameters that I had to stay within to do my artwork, and I really liked that. I thought I did a good job of making the foreground and this kind of closer field look like a cliff, and the further away town on the hill look like it was further away on a hill. I thought I did a good job of that. And then I tried to switch up the texture a little bit to make these really kind of windy, stormy clouds in the background. And I don't know, I just thought it was a cool thing. I liked the way this one looked. And then at the very end, I thought it would be cool to put some breezy, tulipy kind of flowers in this same neon green in the foreground. And again, I think it was effective. I like the red background. I had my friend Harry come and look at all my artwork to talk about maybe doing like a little art show in the fall. Hey, be on the lookout for that. And he said he really liked this painting, so I felt good about that. I then made 2 smaller versions of these paintings because, again, I wanted to use up these oil pastels. Like, they were such pretty colors. And I've been doing a lot of big canvases, so I thought I'd do some smaller ones. But I will say one thing that's really helped me through the process of, I don't know, trying to sort out my feelings about my artwork in my head has been meditating, which leads me to our sponsor of today's video, Headspace. I've been using the Headspace app while I've been painting to do more of an active meditation, but you can really do it anywhere. You can do it while you're walking. They have guided ones for active walks. They have breathing exercises that you can do while seated. I really like to put on these, I think they're called binaural beats, and it's just really light, focus-driven music almost, or beats that help you focus and are proven to give you better concentration. And I find them so helpful while I'm painting, because painting is already kind of a flow state, so meditating with the Headspace app fits in really nicely. And if you're someone who's kind of a noob, you can also do these guided ones that keep you on track to learn how to meditate better. I just think it's a really, really cool app. And if you'd like 60 days free, you can click the link in my description box for a free trial. From this point on, I'm making straight heat, straight fire, if you will. No, I'm kidding. But actually, I am proud of a lot of the paintings that I did after this point. I think I just hit kind of a rough patch at the beginning of the summer, but then I started painting portraits of the kitties. And oh my God, I'm so happy when I'm painting Primrose and Cal. This portrait of Primrose, I have to say, is maybe, like, I don't know, perfectly accurate. I just think I captured her sassiness and her skeptical spirit really nicely in this. I really liked how kind of loose and almost cartoonish she was in this, and I just think it was different for me, but still really fun to do. I also loved this color combo. I think I chose really well when it came to this like really kind of peachy, tangerine-y pink and the purpley, cool-toned color of her fur. I think that looked really nicely. Or worked really nicely, I guess I should say. And then I also ended up doing a portrait of Cal, making his favorite pose, which is kind of like a seal pose. So yeah, I just wanted to do a really cute portrait of them together, and it made me really happy. It made me want to come in and paint. And then I decided to do a portrait of Will, because at this point I still hadn't really painted Will. I had painted his legs before, but I had never tried to do a portrait of him. And after I had painted Primrose, I was like, oh, I want to paint Primrose again. And I have this photo of Primrose and Will together that is one of the cutest photos ever. It was my background on my phone for a really long time. And it's just a great photo. The composition's really nice, so it fit well into the format of a painting. And at this point in the painting, I actually thought it was done. And then I was like, no. What if we added so much more detail? Because at that point, I had probably painted the painting for a week or two, and I thought I was sick of it. I was like, oh, I want to keep it super simple. And then I realized I actually didn't, and it was just me being lazy. And so cut to me adding a whole bunch of detail and then trying out some new painting techniques. I decided to, oh my gosh, okay, emergency vehicles. I decided to do this technique called glazing. I think that's what Adrian told me it's called. I think it's called glazing, where you add a really thinned out pigment of color to a painting and then wipe it all off as much as you can with a cloth. I wanted to do like a texture of a sweater on Will's sweater, but I wanted it to have a bit of a glow underneath, and I think that this worked really well. I think the yellow shows through in a way that gives the navy a little bit more brightness and like a little bit more contrast, which is what I was looking for. And I thought I did this pretty effectively. I didn't even know if I was going to do the sweater, and then the sweater inspired me to add even more navy to the rest of the painting to add more contrast. So I added more detail in his hair, and those details ended up being some of my favorite bits. Just like these little extra things to make the hair have more movement, and maybe a little navy in the jaw, and some places around Primrose where there was some navy. I just really liked this painting. I thought I genuinely did a really good job. So it's hard for me to pat myself on the back, but I thought I did a good job. Then I decided to tackle an even larger painting, because she's a size queen apparently. So much so that I had to remove this little upper bit to even make this canvas work and then replace it. I don't even know what that bit's called. Someone's gonna school me. Someone in the comments is gonna let me know. But it's like almost as tall as me, this canvas. This canvas is huge. Me for scale. So I decided to do another semi-portrait of Will, although it's a little bit more abstract. I took this photo on vacation, And I just thought it was really cool, this kind of double mirror thing. It's a little surreal looking, even though the photo is real and I took it in real life. So I did an underpainting. Again, I guess you know that meme that's like, the back of your head is ridiculous, or whatever. That was it, a sketch? I don't know. I'm saying that in like the dumbest way possible. But the back of Will's head is ridiculous, apparently. I cannot stop painting it. So anyways, I just decided to go with a similar color palette to the last one, but the style of painting for this one I think is a little bit different. I wanted to go really loose and kind of blocky and just kind of put colors in where I saw them. And I ended up really liking this effect. I loved the way his neck looked, and his hair is super blocky. I'm still debating whether or not I want to put detail in, because I kind of like it looking super blocky. And then he's got this kind of sunburned neck. The hand gave me so much trouble, you guys. Oh my God, of course it did. And then I decided to work on the frame. And at first, I talked to my friend Harry about this. Again, I keep bringing up Harry. Hi, Harry. But I wanted to make the frame super realistic, and then I decided I hate the idea of doing anything realistic. I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna make this goofy, and even the proportions are kind of crazy, but I like that it's a bit like messy and crazy, and like the proportions are kind of nuts. I think it looks cool, you know? So I used similar colors to last time, but I wanted the inner bit of the frame to look gold, and I think it achieves that. I think it looks cool. And then I didn't finish this painting on camera, so I guess you're just gonna have to stay tuned for the next video, because I didn't finish it. Anyways, that's everything that I painted this summer. You know, there was a lot of discovery over the summer about what I like, what I don't like in my paintings, what I deem good and what I deem bad, and also getting the opinions of others to see what they deem as good and bad. And it was a real time of experimentation, which I appreciated being able to have the time to do. You know what I mean? Like, that's all we can ask for. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys for the next one.